my friend Jack Martin called me, who had a company called Public Strategies. And at the time, Public Strategies didn't lobby, because I had said I wasn't going to lobby anymore. I really didn't know what I was going to do. And he said, "Why don't you come over here and try this for a while?" And I didn't really know what Jack and Public Strategies did, but they literally are an integrated communications firm. They develop strategy, they develop message, they produce the materials, they manage the campaign, whatever it might be. So in my mind, I was going from playing to coaching with these guys, and so as a good example would be electric deregulation. Public Strategies represented the Association of Electric Companies, and I was the person that managed that account as AECT moved into electric deregulation. So for 2 sessions, I managed the kind of the oversight of the lobby program for all the utility lobbyists. And what was great is I'd be able to figure out, okay, this is what we need to do, this is who you need to talk to, this is what you need to say, but I didn't have to go do it. I'd say, here are these assignments, y'all come back and tell me how you did. And it's managing an integrated campaign like that is something that is you kind of have to have a unique ability to sort through the BS, I guess. I don't think everybody wants to do it, much less is cut out to do it, and I'm not a lot of times not sure that I am or was. But that type of an approach, looking at stuff more than just direct lobby contact, is what I was seeing when I left the law firm, the need for. A lobbyist going in without any type of air or ground cover all by themselves on major issues was going to be doomed to, if not defeat, at least a very hard ride in trying to get there. So what you did with these communication firms, and there's a lot of people that do iterations of this, is that you look for, first of all, you're trying to figure out what's the message. What is it that the public believes about this issue? If you have to change the public's mind on the issue, electric deregulation is a good one. If you have to change the public's mind about the issue, it may take you a while to do it. Public Strategies didn't always deal with legislative issues. They dealt with any place there was going to be basically an election day. For example, when we first started representing the Spurs in San Antonio, who wanted a new place to play basketball, we did the polling in San Antonio and discovered that people in San Antonio absolutely loved the Spurs, but they weren't going to pay 1 penny to keep them there. And we had to then go in and establish the value to San Antonio of the Spurs, and then come up with a legislative solution that didn't tax the people of San Antonio very directly, which was a lot of tourist type of taxes that allowed them to be able to build a stadium. But the same thing with electric deregulation. The electric industry, when I first went to work for them, was opposed to it. And these are the days of Enron coming in and saying it's a great idea. The electric industry was opposed to it, and about midway through that session, they decided they were now for it. And so that session, obviously, we had been spending a lot of time convincing the public that they needed to be careful and do it right, and that the time wasn't right for that. So we then spent the next 18 months convincing them, well, it looks like the time is right, so we could come back and do it. And frankly, you have to put your money, your mouth where your message is, and your actions where your money is, and all of those things together, because if you tell people this is a great idea and it turns out not to be, not only is your credibility shot, but especially in these big stakes fights, you've lost the farm.